My sister went on vacation with our parents instead of me. But during the trip, she did something really bad and got arrested. Now, our parents see her for who she really is. I'm 23 years old, and I have a younger sister named Lisa, who's 18. I really think she's super mean. I've been trying to tell my parents this for years, but they never believe me. Here's why our relationship is so rocky. My parents adore Lisa because my mom had a miscarriage before Lisa was born. Losing the baby was really hard on my mom, so when Lisa came along a few years later, she was like a miracle to them. They poured all their love and attention into her, making her the star of our family. Now, don't get me wrong, I used to love my sister when we were kids. But as we grew up, I noticed something. Lisa is really good at manipulating everyone around her. She knows how to make herself look good and make others look bad. It's like she's a pro at playing the victim. Once on my birthday, I got this really cool old pocket watch from our grandparents. It was a special gift because my grandma said it was a family treasure. I was super happy about it. But my sister, Lisa, was clearly jealous and kept asking if she could have it too. I said no because it was a present just for me on my special day. She tried to convince our parents to make me share, but since it was from our grandparents, it couldn't make me. That night, Lisa did something really mean. She knew I was terrified of spiders, so she put one in my pillowcase while I was sleeping. When I woke up and felt it crawling on me, I screamed and freaked out. My parents rushed in, worried about what was happening. Lisa acted like she didn't know what was going on, but later she told me she did it to scare me on purpose. She even grinned about it, which really freaked me out. I couldn't believe how mean she could be without feeling sorry at all. I remember one time when I had a crush on a boy named Mark from my class. I finally got the courage to invite him over to watch a movie with me at my house. I was so excited and even picked out a special dress to impress him. But when Mark got to our house, my sister Lisa ruined everything on purpose. She spilled juice all over my dress and started laughing at me. I felt so embarrassed and had to change clothes while trying to hide how upset I was. Then, to make things worse, Lisa started telling Mark embarrassing stories about me from when I was little. I felt really humiliated. Lisa wouldn't leave us alone the whole time we watched the movie. When Mark was leaving, Lisa told him that he could do better than me. Mark seemed uncomfortable and left quickly. I couldn't believe how mean and sneaky my sister could be. I kept telling my parents about Lisa's mean behavior, but they always excused it because they thought she was just young and didn't know any better. They didn't see her for who she really was. Whenever I complained, they brushed it off and saw me as the problem in the family. So I stopped talking about her bad behavior. Lisa kept being their favorite, while I, who was always honest, felt like I didn't belong in my own family. I focused on my studies and got into a good college. This let me leave home and have a better life. But whenever I came back home during breaks, Lisa made it clear she didn't want me there. She ignored me and wouldn't talk to me. During meals, she avoided sitting by me and would interrupt me when I talked to our parents. She always tried to make me feel uncomfortable. She even messed with my things, pretending she needed to borrow them, but would damage or lose them instead. When I complained, my parents didn't do anything and told us to get along. So I started avoiding coming home during breaks. I made excuses to spend time with my friends' families instead. My parents didn't mind, thinking I just wanted some independence and time away from home. When Lisa finished high school, her grades weren't good enough for college, so she went to a community college instead. That meant she didn't have to move out of our parents' house. These days, I work at a big company in San Francisco, and I really like my job. I keep in touch with my parents sometimes, but I hardly ever go back home. I don't talk to Lisa at all. Now, on to what happened. My dad had a really bad heart attack recently, but thankfully he survived. He was rushed to the hospital. When my mom called to tell me, I immediately booked a flight home to be with them. The doctors gave my dad a bunch of medicines and told him he needed to exercise more. Since he got out of the hospital, he's been wanting us to spend more time together as a family. I understood, so I stayed at home for a few days. My job lets me work from anywhere, so it was okay. but I noticed Lisa was really annoyed that I was back. I tried to stay away from her because we're both older now, and I didn't want to fight after what happened to our dad. One morning at breakfast, my dad suggested we go on a family vacation since we hadn't done that in a while. At first, I wasn't sure, but I agreed because I knew it meant a lot to him. Lisa wasn't too excited about it, but she had to go with the plan. Dad took care of booking our flights and where we'd stay. I had already asked for time off from work and told my coworkers not to bother me so I could really enjoy the trip with our parents. But when we got to the airport, I found out my flight ticket was canceled. My dad was confused too because he said he had bought it. After checking, we found out that my ticket was the only one that got mysteriously canceled. I stood there, trying to understand what was happening. I looked at Lisa and she had the sneaky grin on her face, like she always does when she pulls off one of her tricks. I realized she must have canceled my ticket, probably from Dad's computer. I started yelling at her, but she just kept smiling. I told Mom and Dad it was Lisa's fault, that she didn't want me on the trip. But Mom didn't believe me. She said Lisa wouldn't do something like that and that I shouldn't be jealous of her. Dad said it might have been a mistake by the airline, not Lisa's fault. I was so frustrated that they couldn't see what Lisa was really like. There was nothing I could do. My ticket was canceled, and there were no more flights that day. I could have flown the next day, but I didn't want to go alone. This was supposed to be a family vacation. I really didn't want to share a room with Lisa on this trip. I had hoped she had grown up since we last traveled together, but as she canceled my flight, I worried she might have more mean plans for me. Dad was unsure at first, saying we could go back home and plan a new trip later. But then he talked about how he missed going on vacations. Mom agreed, saying I travel a lot for work anyway, so I wouldn't miss much if I didn't go. Their words hurt. It felt like they wanted me to say they should go without me, so I told them they could continue the vacation without me, and they agreed without hesitation. Even though I didn't want the money spent on the tickets and rooms to go to waste, I felt sad that they didn't care if I went with them or not. It seemed like they were fine going on the vacation without me. So there I was, alone at the airport while my parents and Lisa went on their trip. I decided to go back home to San Francisco. I didn't want to stay alone in our family house any longer. I tried to forget about what happened and focus on enjoying the rest of my time off from work. I spent my break catching up with old friends and reading lots of books, turning it into a solo vacation at home. Sometimes, my parents would video call me during their trip, and I could see they were having fun without me. It felt like they didn't really miss me on their vacation. Even though I wasn't too upset about missing out, I still felt left out. It reminded me of how my family always seemed to favor Lisa. I hoped that one day they would see her true colors, and it seems like that finally happened. A few days into their trip, I woke up to several missed calls from my mom, worried that something was wrong with my dad's health. When I called her back, she sounded really upset. She explained that they had noticed my dad's important heart medications were disappearing. It was serious because he needed them for his health. They were in a different country and worried if they could find the same medicine there as in the US. They were really concerned about the missing pills and searched their room but couldn't find them. My mom went to Lisa's room next door to borrow some sunscreen while Lisa was away. She was shocked to find all the missing medicines hidden in Lisa's bedside table. It was scary, so she called my dad. He came and found all his missing medication. I think that's when they realized the truth. Their favorite daughter, the one they called a miracle child, had been purposely putting my dad's health in danger. My mom sounded scared as she asked if they should talk to Lisa about it. I told her not to until they got back home. They needed time to think and gather proof before they confronted Lisa with the truth. Talking to her now wouldn't help because she's good at making excuses to avoid getting in trouble. But something must have happened because my parents must have talked to her about it. Lisa would be let go after 24 hours, and my parents couldn't do anything about it right away. They really wanted to go home after Lisa was released, so they tried to change their flight, but they found out their passports and wallets were missing. Lisa had either thrown away their passports or hid them. So now, they were stuck in another country with no passports or money. I think this was the first time my parents saw Lisa for who she really was. My mom, who always defended Lisa, was now asking me for help because they didn't have money or documents to fly home. She was upset and shocked to realize her daughter wasn't as good as she thought. I told them not to worry, and I would send them money with Western Union, but they had to find their passports first. I was sure Lisa didn't throw them away. Finally, my parents were realizing I was telling the truth about her all along. They were thankful I was helping them, even though they didn't take me on the trip. They said sorry for not believing me. Part of me wants to forgive them, but it's hard. I felt unloved because they always favored my sister, so I'm not ready to forgive them just because they regret leaving me out of the vacation. Update 1. Every day, my parents call me to tell me what's happening, and I'm getting more and more worried. After Lisa got out of jail, my parents told her to give back their passports or they'd call the police on her again. She had no choice but to tell them where she hid them. When they got home, my parents told Lisa to pack her things and leave. They finally realized how manipulative and harmful she was. They were worried she might hurt Dad again by stealing his medicine. Lisa got really mad and started yelling at my parents, saying she didn't want to share them with anyone, especially not me. She kept saying they should forget about me and only care about her. That's when my parents saw how jealous she was and how much she hated me being part of the family. They tried to calm her down, but she just kept yelling at them. She even threatened to make up lies about them to the police if they made her move out. This scared my parents because they're respected doctors in our community, and false accusations could ruin their reputation. Lisa's been making life hard for my parents ever since. When she found out they were talking to me more, she got really mad and broke dishes. She keeps hiding their car keys, making it hard for them to go to work. Just tonight, she had a tantrum during dinner and broke furniture. Then she blasted loud music in her room, so my parents couldn't sleep. The situation keeps getting worse, and it's really stressing my parents out. I'm worried about what might happen next. I can't go home right now because it might make things worse. I'm trying to convince my parents to talk to a lawyer so we can find a way to solve this problem for good. Going to court seems like the best way to protect my parents and make our family peaceful again. Update 2. Lisa got arrested, just like many of you thought might happen. She was causing more and more trouble, and one night she even threatened our parents with a knife during a big fight. It scared them, so they had to call the police. The officer arrested her for assault. With Lisa in jail, our parents knew they had to do something more permanent. They talked to a lawyer who helped them figure out how to make her leave their home for good. They gave her a formal notice saying she had to move out. They didn't want to press charges against her. They just wanted her to go. They bailed her out of jail and gave her the notice. It explained why she had to leave and when. They made sure to follow all the rules so Lisa couldn't argue. Then they went to court with their lawyer to start the process of making her leave. It was really hard for my parents because they were taking their own daughter to court. They felt sad and guilty, but they felt like they had no other choice. Finally, the court said Lisa had to leave the house. If she didn't go on her own, they could make her leave. Lisa will be out by next week. My parents are relieved they're taking a step to get their home in peace back. It's been tough, but they're hopeful things will get better once Lisa moves out. I've been talking to them through all this, and I'm planning to bring them to San Francisco for a few weeks. It'll give them a break from all the stress Lisa caused. Plus, it'll be a chance for us to spend time together, and I want to support them as much as I can. Update 3. I've read through all your comments, and many of you suggested we should check if Lisa has any mental health problems. But since she's an adult, we can't make her go for a checkup if she doesn't want to. Because of her sudden angry outbursts, we don't want to make things worse by pushing her. As I mentioned before, my parents came to visit me in San Francisco to take a break from everything that happened. Yesterday evening, we sat down to talk at my place. They were really sorry for not seeing Lisa's true self all these years and asked for my forgiveness. My dad felt bad for not listening to me earlier. They never thought Lisa would turn out like this and didn't see her real character behind her nice behavior. My mom also said sorry for not taking my concerns seriously about Lisa. She was upset to realize how they favored Lisa over me. I told them I appreciated them admitting their mistakes. I shared some tough memories of how Lisa made me feel all those years. My parents were shocked to hear what I went through alone. They admitted they were wrong and said sorry for making me feel left out. They said they always saw Lisa as special because they didn't expect to have her and thought of her as a miracle baby. They really meant it when they asked for my forgiveness. It was hard for me, but it was a start to fixing our family. We're finally talking about the problems we had for years. I told them I need time to trust them again, and we agreed to work on things together. For now, I'm going to enjoy the time I have with my family while they're here with me. Update 4. We've been spending a lot of time together in San Francisco, exploring the city and enjoying meals. It's been nice to reconnect after all the problems with Lisa. My parents didn't just come here to get away from her, but also to rebuild our family. We all want a fresh start. Right now, Lisa is staying with a friend. We can't just leave her alone, even though she caused a lot of trouble. My parents feel responsible for her, even though she did bad things. We think maybe she has some deeper issues causing her behavior. We want to get her checked by a doctor, but we can't force her. We'll try to talk to her about it when my parents go back home. I don't want to talk to her because she's still mad at me, and I don't want to make things worse for her. I told my parents they should meet her in a public place because of her past angry outbursts. Our main goal is for her to understand our side and know we care about her. We're not blaming anyone. We just want to fix our family.